The Rams defense went out there and shut down Sam Darnold, at least slowed down JSN, and they were the reason that the Rams end up beating the Seahawks and right now are the number 2 seed in the NFC, forcing 4 interceptions and not getting bailed by their defensive line this game because they had 0 sacks on Sam. Kitchens and the group of Rams defensive backs take a bow because you just strapped up the Seahawks. All right, guys, here we go. Play of the game. Let's get to our fun facts. First off, this play, it's rare that I do this, but this play was in the first quarter of the game. Yeah, and this is actually the first Seahawks possession of the game. The Rams actually got down the field. They just drove all the way down here, even a little bit further down there, even further. And they actually got to like the 3-yard line, turnover on downs. They didn't kick a field goal. So instead now, the Seahawks, this is, I believe, their 3rd play of the game. They're out here on the field. And they have all the momentum, right? They've actually come out early, running the football. But the Rams said, you know what? That's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to stay back, right? This was their plan the whole game. Stay back, really just try to play over the top. What you actually see is this free safety get back here and play that. Now, Sam Darnold, one thing that he's going to do is he's going to take risks, right? So if he sees a tight angle pass, he'll throw it. But he really does want to go down the field. That is something that they just were able to really stop him to do and stop him from doing on this play. Another thing that happens here as well, what you're going to see, this is a play action fake. So, what you're going to see is a play action fake. So they're going to actually just fake this run. Darnold's going to step back, and he wants to go right here with the bomb, right? That's where he wants to go. This is a streak. It looks like tight coverage. It looks like it's kind of going to be there. That's the original thing. One thing that does happen, though, is even though they didn't get any sacks from the game, these D tackles up front, they're able to push back, and you're going to see kind of get some pressure on Sam. So let's run it so you guys can see what I'm talking about with what happens over there on that end, right? So there you go. You see it coming. They actually start getting pressure. I believe this is Fisk in there. Looks like him. Starting to get some pressure. Darnold, he's kind of just, he's got little happy feet. He's tip-tapping. He's out there, what do we call it? Tapping around out there, man. He's getting a little happy feet. This play, the throw that he wants to throw, might be there. Not sure. This free safety gets a late beat on it. That looks like it would be open. I wonder who that is. I think that might even be JSN. But this is the problem, right? What he's expecting is he thinks when he sees this guy turn his head that this route right here, this little in is going to be open. However, if we run it back, where Kitchens comes from is actually absurd for him to come over and get over to this play. Like, look at this, man. I mean, the attention to detail, right? And even when you look at the beginning of the play, he's in that robber position, but you think maybe because he's kind of shaded over here, he's going to just kind of follow this back. Instead, his eyes, right, he says, bunk that. What Kitchen says is, he said, my eyes are on the prize, baby, and I'm looking right over here at you. He sees that Darnold is looking over here, and so he says, I'm out, dude. I don't really care about this route because that's not where he's looking, and I'm going to fly over here. And the play that he makes on this, I mean, to start the game off like this, to really set the tone for the 4-interception day, really, just extreme attention to detail, flying over here and making that interception is just crazy. Like, it's a crazy play. And I can't lie. Like, if I'm looking out there, I'm not expecting this guy to come over here and just like, I'm not expecting the safety on the downfield side to rob all the way on the other side of these, what they call the hash marks, right? You expect him to maybe play the middle, but the way he flew over here and got to this huge. Now, Darnold also, because of this play fake, he kind of also releases it a little bit late as well. But yeah, not I think there, right here, right when he steps back, he might have still been hoping that this was there, but instead he's looking this way. And I mean, Kitchens is like gone. He's like, because I think he was, let me look at it again, man. It feels like he kind of sort of was supposed to just go backwards with that and just changed it himself. Let's watch him. Yeah, like it feels like he's like, oh, I could do this, or I'm just going to fly this way. Like he's staring here, right? He's in his zone, and that's crazy because this free safety, I mean, the free safety is definitely deep thirds. He looks like he's like just at least deep middle, just supposed to stay back. So I think Kitchens isn't robber, but it's a good shade to not immediately go. But then once he reads it, he trusted it, and he was out. But I'm still not expecting him to fly across the field like that. That's crazy. But you got to throw that ball quicker. Huge catch by Kitchens. You see him take it down to the 4-yard line. Rams celebrating. You know what I mean? Look at it. You are, my friend, you are the king. You're the king, and here's your crown, man. 2 interceptions on the day for Kitchens. Throwing the kitchen sink at him. Huge play there, and that is why the Rams come out and won this game. That's right. We got a second play of the day for you guys here, man. Yeah, we're definitely going to use this segment more. I like it. This is a punt, man, and here's what's happening in this situation. It's 21-19 Seahawks. Big lead. Well, actually, sorry, Rams lead. My mistake. Rams up, punting the ball away. Their offense just continues to not be able to move the ball, but the defense does a really good job. However, the defense did just let up a TD. So this is a huge, actual big situation for a punt. And what you see here is just an absolute dime right here. I mean, look at this. Boom. He kicks it. It's angled toward this side, so it's coming over here. You see Shaheed, he's flying up. He's ignoring the ball. He's not really worried about it. And when you see where this lands, I mean, my goodness gracious, this is big time stuff right here, man. And this, honestly, like, look at, I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. Just there's the ball kicking up. Let's see if I can move it. Yeah, there it is. The ball's kicking up, and where it lands, just incredible. Just stays in the air. It actually floats and then lands, boom, right at the 1-yard line. So big that, it didn't hit what we call the pylon, right? So if it actually came through and touches this pylon, big problem. That would be a touchback, right? So instead, it comes out right where you need it to, right at the 1-yard line. Huge play for them, because as opposed to really those 19 yards could be the difference between the Seahawks having to kick a 61-yard field goal like they did, or let's just do the math, a 42-yard field goal. Much better chance that Myers hits a 42-yarder. Instead, 61 yards miss, and a lot of it coming down to this punt, pinning them back here. And the Rams just doing all the little things so well. This guy even comes over here and helps lead it on up out of bounds before it could cross back in. Just a great job from the Rams, top to bottom, on Sunday. What is up, Rams fans and fans of the NFL? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please throw us a like or a sub. We have all of our videos here. We pretty much upload every single day. We also have YouTube Lives where we do previews. Me and Tony L. Tigre, where we predict all of the games. And our playlist as well. Each team categorized out, so check those out. Again, show us some love. Comment. We love hearing from you guys. And hope you enjoyed. Now back to the episode. And when you look for this for the Rams, a big win right now. Here they sit 8-2 in the win-loss column. They are just right behind Philly. They're behind Philly because they lost a game to them, so they lose that tiebreaker. But everyone else in the conference, you have one more win, one more loss. Then that's good, because I mean the NFC is a mess. So you finally go out there, get a little bit of space. Obviously now you got to win over these guys, so that's big as well. And this is just going to be about them keeping pace. So huge win, just trying to keep home field alive, and then we'll see what happens, obviously, with Philly coming up. But I think they're finally in a spot where, at least for right now this week, now it's still in danger slightly. You don't want to get too ahead of yourself, right? Because the Lions are sitting here at 6-4 outside, but you are sitting in a spot where right now you feel just a slight amount of comfort with not being a wild card team, and I wouldn't be too comfortable either with winning the division with these two teams, and we'll break that down. But you got to be feeling at least better than you were last week, and yeah, let's go to it. Check out the Rams division and see what's going on here, because I mean the NFC West is just a terror, right? And you look at this, I mean, good grief. Now the big part is you do that's a big win in the division. You're the 49ers. Sorry, the 49ers with 4 losses. That's big as well. Better than your 2. So you got some distance, and you did beat Seattle. And right now Seattle 2-2 in the division. That if you have either the way it works, right? Divisional games are impacted if you don't sweep a division opponent. So let's say if right now the 49ers and Rams, let's say the Rams ended up 4-2 and the 49ers 5-1, and they were tied, the 49ers would then get that 1 seed. But right now, because of how it is, obviously the 49ers are a little bit further back. Seattle is the issue. And so not only do they have a win over them, and again, the win-loss column, but like we just talked about, the division column, big as well, because now, hey, look, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot to try to go out here. Now you finally have control of your destiny, and let's just see, can they win the division and try to get home field, and maybe even the 1 seed. The 1 seed is still right there. Just need 1 loss from Philadelphia for that to happen. But looking at how we've gotten to this point for the Rams, come out there, you beat the Texans week 1. You know what I mean? A good win for sure, specifically because that defense is pretty wild. And then you go out there, you beat the Titans too. Tough loss to the Eagles, especially because you had a 26-7 lead in that one. And that loss, I mean, honestly, still hurting you right now. And then Mac Jones in overtime, tough loss, but you did beat the Colts. I mean, that's a really, really good win. The Colts only have 2 losses on the season, and since then they've been rolling. They've won 5 straight, and they've beaten some good teams. I mean, you know, Seattle, San Fran, Jacksonville, Baltimore. Well, Baltimore, I mean, that was like that one actually. Let's just take that back. I don't count that one, only because it's Cooper Rush. But these are some good opponents that they've been beating recently. It doesn't get much easier for them in this, at least this next upcoming week. You get Tampa Bay coming up on the schedule, so that's a tough game. But, I mean, right now, with the way that the Rams are rolling, and specifically what they did on defense and offense, I mean, I just think they're a better team than the Buccaneers right now. Carolina, again, none of these teams want to play them right now. This Detroit-Seattle stretch, that'll be a little tough. But you get to end with these 2 games, and I got to say, those look like 2 dubs right now for the Rams. So this is going to be the tough stretch, right? And this is going to be it. You get a rematch against Seattle. Can't say they're not tough. And then, obviously, you get Detroit up here as well. I'm interested in that. But, yeah, I would say I'd have them winning these games too, but there's still slight question marks. I'll put a / question mark in there. I think they would win, but I'm not sure. But, yeah, for the Rams, great position. Schedule looking really, really good for them as well as we come down the stretch. That's right, guys. Here it is, our segment, Comment of the Week. We scour our comments and look for the best one from the last Rams preview or review. Nothing heard from Rams Nation. Go in there, shout out a comment, and make your voice heard. But, I mean, this game from the Rams defense, this was a complete shout out to Chris Shula on that end for devising up this game plan. The players for executing. I mean, that was amazing. Just the attention to detail. And it seemed like, I can't lie, like a lot of the time in the game, they were like, go ahead, hit this curl route to A.J. Barner. It's going to be there for you all game. We don't really care. We're not going to let you throw the ball deep to JSN. And JSN still got over the top a couple times. Shaheed, I mean, they got all the speed, right? You know what they want to do with it. But for the most part, the not only just the coverage and the attention to detail of we're not going to let JSN cook us deep. He's still at 112 yards, but I'm not going to lie, compared to what he's been doing, it's pretty on par. And to not let him get in the end zone, that's big because he's been getting explosives. For Darnold to not throw any touchdown passes as well is kind of crazy considering what he's been doing. And Darnold did have 6 picks heading into this game, but to force 4, that is just incredible stuff. And it was the mix of coverage. Like even when we looked at that play, just to have again a free safety over top with a safety undercutting it like that's a great play. The second interception was a 3rd and 9. There was pressure, and Darnold's like, all right, they're jump. He's thinking, okay, what they're doing is they're guarding the deep pass. So if I throw this curl route to the marker, that'll be there. But Darius Williams again just had to be play call, had to be scheme as well. But he played it perfectly. Played the markers, didn't even move. And the second he saw that Darnold was about to throw the ball, he just ran and picked that one off. That was a huge interception. One was just absurd. Kitchens, the second one from Kitchens, I forgot about 3. I always forget about the third one with him. But Kitchens, he undercut another throw to Arroyo where he again acted like he was going to play deep. Darnold was expecting Arroyo to cross over, but Kitchens just kept sitting right there, and the other defender had the tight end deep on that one, and he again went for that robber and caught it. So just great defensive attention to detail. And at the end of the game, they just flummoxed him so much that he's throwing jumping, passing interceptions. So that was huge for them to get those interceptions. I think that beyond those picks, and to the Barner point, by the way, A.J. Barner in this game, 10 catches, 80 yards. They were just like, go ahead. They knew it was going to be him. They didn't want JSN. They didn't want Shaheed down the field to cook them. So they were literally conceding that curl route underneath, and the Seahawks had no choice but to take it. They were trying to go down the field, and they couldn't do it. Again, impressive too because they got some pressures, but they had 0 sacks on Darnold. That's something they hang their hat on. We've kind of seen that secondary get pieced up a little bit earlier in the season, so for them to do that, huge. And I think another big component in this game for Chris Shula and them was the fact that they were able to keep them out of the end zone multiple times. Like the red zone defense was amazing. They just continued to fight every time. Forced 4 field goals in the game. And again, you let up one more touchdown, you might end up losing this game. But the defense, absolutely phenomenal. Offensively, a tough go at it versus Seattle, man. And the Seattle defense, hey, look, they're right there they're right there with the Rams, right? Like the Rams come into this game. I forgot to mention defensively, one thing that made it impressive, they came into this game 21st in pass defense, and Seattle came in 2nd in points scored and 4th in passing offense. So for them to win that battle like that was huge. But the Seahawks defense coming in, they were 14th in stopping the pass, not great. 6th though in points allowed, only allowing 19. I didn't expect quite this defensive of a game. I was thinking more 27-24. I actually thought the offenses could kind of get to the races. They've been so good this year, but the defenses have been equally as good. And we see, defense wins championships, right? So that was it was just tough going. It seemed like really the most effective player to me anyway was Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams was definitely getting things going. They ran some 4th downs with him. They were working. The first drive was good. They just went for it. They wanted a touchdown. Didn't want a field goal. Ended up not getting anything out of that. 3 runs with Corum in that situation, kind of risky as well. So for them, to not score there, that was tough. I think then they finally let Kyren get a touchdown. Kyren Williams, 21 rushes, I believe, 90 yards. And then Corum had 8 rushes for 10 yards. So 12 rushes, 91 yards actually for Kyren. So much more effective. Seattle, just what they did that really caused the Rams problem. They're so lengthy on defense. Witherspoon, Woolen at the cornerback position. They tried to throw it to Devontae Adams 8 times. He only caught 1 pass. Now the one was crazy. It was like a quick slant. He cooked whoever was guarding him on the line, and then Stafford like sidearmed it in there. I mean, them at the goal line's crazy. But the rest of the field, they just couldn't get anything going. Stafford 15 for 28, 130, 2 touchdowns. Not the MVP numbers he's been putting up, but you know what he didn't do? He didn't turn the ball over. They were, I wouldn't say content with it, but you got to realize the game that you're playing, that your defense is flying, and they were just not going to turn the ball over, and they did it. And it was, the more I'm talking myself into that somehow being impressive. Like they didn't move the ball at all. Like for 5 quarters, they didn't do anything. Maybe the Eagles just flooding my brain, all those 3 and outs. But it's something, right? Like when, the Seahawks kept getting closer, but they never got over the edge because they kept turning it over, and the Rams were just going to take whatever was there. Like when they got that Kitchens turnover, like, all right, bet, we're here again. Cool, we're going to go right down the field and score a touchdown. It was interesting, though. Seattle, much better against their 3 tight end set than teams have been in the past. I think they just have better personnel, though, than those other teams. I think the Seahawks just, what they have at linebacker, corner, they were just flying around all day. Both teams were. You saw the Rams doing similar stuff. The Rams being a little bit more, how do I say, they were kind of, you don't want to, like, almost rope-a-doping, allowing Seattle to kind of run the ball a little bit just so that the passing lanes weren't open. But it was a tough game against a really good team, one that a lot of people said looked like the best team in the NFL, and they just played better. Offensively, they didn't turn the ball over. They just kept moving and punted. And, like, we showed you a punt. That's because they were like, you know what, we're not going to make those mistakes. And defensively, just an amazing performance from Chris Shula's guys on the back end. Just those coverages, the way they played it, how they didn't let up a bomb but still were able to make big plays. That was an impressive game. And, after beating the Seahawks, we asked it last week, are they the best in the league? Clearly, they definitely are one of the best teams right now in the NFL. And you got to say, Super Bowl contenders, 100%.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.